to the throne. He's right beside me. Hold my hand in the valley. Lost but now you found me. Don't know where I will be.
Don't know who I will be, yeah, yeah.
Came through when I need him. He's a ride, oh yeah. Hey, pop my haters, you know he be fighting, yeah. I never had no one to stick beside me, yeah. And when it's cold, I know he got that fire. You made a wood.
You made a way.
I don't know, hey, yeah. You keep on blessing.
Keep on blessing me.
Every day, yeah. Right on the pedal. You say the day.
You said the day.
I need somebody crazy enough to join with me. Say, can't nobody do me like you, Jesus.
Ain't nobody do me like you, Jesus.
Can't nobody do me like the Lord, yeah.
Ain't nobody do me like you.
Let's go, let's go. I give you glory, yeah. I give you glory, I give you glory.
I give you glory. I give you glory.
I need you to find your swag. Y'all come on. We get ready to swag walk. Y'all ready? This way.
It's already mine.
You know the devil be mad, yeah. You know I stay in my bag, yeah. Everybody around me blessed. It's already mine.
It's already mine.
You know the devil be mad, yeah. You know I stay in my bag, yeah. Everybody around me blessed. I got it, I got it. You got it, you got it. We got it, we got it. It's already mine. I get it, I got it. You got it, you got it. We got it, we got it. It's already mine.
Already mine.
Say it.
No one should have done me. Jesus don't know like me. No one never can stop me. Never won't give my victory.
Y'all ready? New birth. Everybody jump. Say, you made a way. Out of the way. You made a way. Out of the way. He made a way. Out of the way. Let's go. Hands up. Can't nobody do me like you, Jesus. I'm a living witness that can't nobody do me like God. Say, yeah. I give you glory, yeah. I give you glory, I give you glory.
I give you glory. I give you glory.
You get the glory, you get the glory.
I give you glory. I give you glory.
You get the glory, you get the glory.
I give you glory. I give you glory.
It's already mine.
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 I give you glory, yeah. I don't see nobody dancing. This is a praise party, ain't it? When you go home and it's a check in the mailbox, and when nobody help you, I want you to look at God and say, I give you glory, yeah. Whoa. I see you in the back. Yeah, yeah. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, I got enough faith to say, I got it, I got it. Say,
I got it. I got it.
you got it, you got it.
You got it. You got it.
We got it, we got it.
We got it. We got it.
I got it, I got it.
I got it. I got it.
Every time I turn around, he keep on blessing me. Every time I turn around, he keep on blessing me. Every time I turn around, he keep on blessing me. Every time I turn around, everybody turn and say, turn around, he. I don't see nobody turning. Keep on blessing. Keep on blessing. Keep on blessing. Keep on blessing. Keep on. Keep on blessing. Keep on blessing. Keep on blessing. Keep on blessing. Every time I turn around.
Every time I turn around.
Look at your neighbor and say, give me some room right there. Every time I turn around.
Every time I turn around.
Look at another neighbor and say it again. Let's go. Say every time I turn around. Every time I turn around. You better turn when I say turn. Y'all ready? I need you to jump like you're blessed right here. You keep on blessing. Keep on blessing. Yeah. Every time I turn around.
Every time I turn
Every time I turn around.
every time I turn
Every time you turn around.
every time I turn
Every time we turn around.
every time I turn around,
Every time I turn around.
every time I turn around.
Listen to me, New Birth. New Birth is special to me. This is the first church that invited me to sing my song Big. The first church that believed in what God was doing. And 2 years later, 5 Stellar Awards later, Artist of the Year later, I had to come to New Birth to birth something. And God told me you're pregnant with possibilities. Why? You keep on blessing.
Keep on blessing,
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 Keep on blessing.
keep on blessing.
If you're doing it big in 2021, if you're doing it big in 2021, I need you to make some noise. Yeah. If you know God got a blessing with your name on it, I need you to say it with me. Say, God is a big God. God is a big God. God is a big God. Said, I believe.
But it's my season,
You ought to type big in the comments, say, and I believe,
and I believe
yeah, that it's my time.
that it's my time,
Yeah,
it's my
if you're doing it big, let's go. Breakthroughs in the room.
breakthrough,
It's yours if you want it. I'm anticipating. Fellas, God can yeah.
my tears is ready to move,
I need you to lift your hands and say, for I know God, He work. In the back. And it's gonna be.
and it's gonna be,
Hey, if you still believe that the pandemic doesn't change the promise, you ought to say with me,
and it's gonna be,
God is a big God. God is a big God. God is a big God. Let's swag and serve. Now let's go. What is God doing in your family? Say, I need everybody up right now. It's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be. In the midst of your struggle, in the midst of your pain, the new job will be. The next check will be. The next door will be. Lord, let it be big. Yeah. I need you to lift your hand and say, God, I am ready for the next thing that you're doing in my section. I still believe it's gonna be. Woke up this morning, I'm blessed. Food on my table, I'm blessed. Clothes on my back, yeah, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. The devil already know I'm winning. Devil already know I'm winning. Devil already know I'm winning. Need your help, say, and it's gonna. Hands lifted all over this park. Online, I need you to put hands up in the comments. Let's prophesy. God's gonna. Won't even slide. What is God doing for your church? I need 1,000 folk to declare over your life. Somebody shout, I receive that. I said, shout, I receive that. Can we sing it as one choir? I believe, yeah. It's my season.
That it's my season.
Who's claiming that testimony? And I believe. Hey,
That it's my time.
yeah.
It's my time.
And I can feel it.
I can feel it.
Breakthroughs in the room.
Breakthroughs in the room.
We're going to say that again till you believe it. Said I can feel it.
I can feel it.
Joys in the room.
Joys in the room.
You ain't saying like you believe it. Said I can feel it.
I can feel it.
Throw your head back and shout favor.
Favors in the room.
Yeah. I'm anticipating.
Anticipating.
God's getting ready to move.
God's getting ready to move.
I need you to lift your hands. For I know.
For I know my God is worth.
Say it until you believe it.
For I know my God is worth.
Keep on declaring it.
For I know my God is worth.
Come on, I need you to say it.
For I know my God is worth.
Yes, God.
For I know
Yes, Lord.
God is worth. A miracle just for me.
If you know it's just for you, you want to throw your head back and shout. And it's going to be. There's a miracle in this room. And it got your name on it. I dare you to shout your name right there. I dare you to type your name right there. There's a blessing. It's in the room. And it's here. Yeah. There's a breakthrough. It's in the room. Throw your head back and say, healing, favor, breakthrough, blessing, new birth. Don't say it if you ain't trying to give birth to nothing. New birth. Don't say it if you ain't got a business in your spirit. New birth. Look at your neighbor. Say, neighbor, why you looking me up and down like there's something wrong with me? Look back at that neighbor and say, I don't know what you feel.
I don't know what you feel.
Look at another neighbor and say, I don't know what you feel.
I don't know what you feel.
Hey! Yeah! Pastor Mike, why you scream like that? Because sometimes I don't have the proper words to properly articulate what I feel in my spirit. So every now and again I got to say, hey! I don't know what you feel.
I don't know what you feel.
But breakthrough.
Breakthroughs in the room.
You didn't shout like it was here. You didn't shout like it was here. I don't know what you feel.
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 But favor.
Favors in the room.
I'm getting ready to go. God bless y'all. But look at your neighbor. Say neighbor. That's the wrong somebody. Find another neighbor. Say neighbor. Give me about 6 feet. Because I'm about to praise God for what he's getting ready to do. It's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big.
I need a praiser. I need a praiser. I need a praiser who will praise God. It's gonna be big.
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 It's gonna be
For I know, for I know. I need you to sing. I'm getting ready to go. But who's waiting on God to do something? Who's waiting on God to make a way? Can I be Baptist for about 30 seconds? Bring it to me. I got a feeling he's making our way. Say, I got a feeling
He's making our way.
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 He's opening doors.
He's opening doors.
He's opening doors.
He's opening doors.
You better praise him like it's already done. Come on, God. I need everybody to shout. It's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big.
Your pastor's about to bring the word. Last time, I need you to declare, it's gonna be big.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Y'all give it up for Pastor Mike. How many of y'all believe it's gonna be big? Bless the Lord.
Yeah.
Bless the Lord. Come on, shout like it's gonna be big. We've been in a series called Word is Bond. I want you to go quickly to Matthew 19, verses 21 and 22. Matthew 19, verse 21 and 22. Matthew chapter 19, verse 21 and 22. Jesus told him, if you want to be perfect, go sell your possessions and give to the poor, and you'll have treasure in heaven. Then come follow me. When the young man heard this, he went away in sorrow because he had great wealth. I want to preach for a little while today, continuing our series. I want to preach today for richer or for poorer. For richer or for poorer. Professor Kevin Koss from the University of Minnesota said in a briefing that love may bring two people together, but too many times it's money that drives them apart. Love can bring two people together, but too many times it's money that drives them apart. Data collected from SunTrust Bank found that money is the lead point of contention for couples and the second leading cause of divorce after infidelity. The truth of the matter is the crux of the conflict is not cash itself, nor is it connected to secret bank accounts or online gambling. It really whittles down to trust. Money can become the real matrix, where in marriage the red and blue pill boil down to values and honesty. So the person who I'm involved with, who I'm dating, who I'm marrying, I got to ask them, can I trust you to have delayed gratification so that we can have a secure future? Can I trust that you will not put aesthetics over assets? Can I trust that you have a financial plan and you are not living for Zappos and Amazon. It can become toxic, especially if they come from a family tree that eats all its own fruit, or if they are just instinctively selfish. That's why many aren't sure how to behave. Many people don't know how to handle you. They don't know how to respond or to react when they discover that you actually don't love them for their money. We're living in a culture where currency has replaced identity. So people treat you based off of how much they think you are worth. A lot of people are about to lose their minds because they lost their job, as if they don't have confidence that God will give them another one. The American Academy of Matrimonial Lawyers have reported that divorces, oddly enough, hear this, divorces, oddly enough, pick up in periods during economic growth. The Bible says, unless two agree, how can they walk together? I was astonished to discover that there is a higher divorce rate amongst the affluent than there is amongst the destitute. A lot of couples who have a lot coming in also have a whole lot more going out. Frequently, a high-income earner is married to a non-worker. In addition, the higher income spouse can find themselves with inflated time away from the home because of travel or occupational demands. By an almost 2-to-1 margin, the lawyers who were polled saw a decline in divorces during economic downturns, which means that when things got tight, marital bonds got deeper. When things were going well, it was easier for people to leave. That underscores, therefore, why in the marital vows it says richer before it says poorer. Because your greater temptation is how you will act when you have money. It's actually harder to stick in there when you are richer. Al Green said, let's stay together. Whether good or bad, happy or sad, but you'll notice that Reverend Al never said richer or poorer. I got to ask you a critical question today. Whether you're in the lawn, whether you're on a folding chair, whether you're watching from your home, I got to ask you, how does your economics inform your discipleship? Have you ever thought about why is it there are more churches in the projects than in the suburbs? Psalm 34:1 says, I will bless the Lord at all times. But seriously though, which times do you bless him more? When do you pray more? At what point do you worship more fervently? You asked him to make you richer, but can he trust you when you are poorer? So sometimes to get that old thing back, God has got to make it like it was. Because God discovered in high-level observation that you were more faithful when you had less. Can God trust you with more? I hate to rain on your parade, but I got to tell you that sometimes when you lost money, it was not the devil. Sometimes when you were going through financial hardships, it was not the enemy and it was not a curse. Sometimes you went through financial trial because God needed you to pray more. God needed you to worship more. God needed you to be more faithful because he saw when you got money, you started going to brunch. When you got money, you started playing golf. When you got money, you started spending more time online shopping. So God said, I need to see, how will you trust me when you got less? The Bureau of Labor Statistics' latest survey of consumer expenditure found that the poorest fifth of American households contribute on average 4.3% of their income to charitable organizations, whereas the richest fifth gave on average just 2% of their income. We've got data that shows explicitly the broker you are, the better giver you are. It's like rolling up toothpaste. You've got to get the best you can from the bottom. The reality is, most people don't know poor people intimately unless they work for them. But God put you in a place in poverty to remind you of who you used to be. He needed to see, how would you respond when you see your old self? But it becomes a whole lot more strenuous to give to people, especially when you know them. How, Pastor, do I give to my child who has no initiative? How do I give to my friend who is always in crisis? How do I give to my mate who does not know how to manage? And today, I'm not telling you to give to them. What I am saying to you is stick with them the same way God stuck with you. Do you remember how God blessed you when you had no discipline? Do you remember how God supplied all your needs when your priorities were out of order? Do you remember when He showed up when you spent your income on that which was frivolous? In Matthew chapter 19, some church officials rolled up on Jesus and they asked Him about divorce. And they asked the Master, what are the excusable grounds for divorce that is acceptable in your sight? In verse number 9, Jesus responds, sexual immorality. And then something happens just a few verses later in that same chapter. A young man walks up on Jesus. When he walks up on him, he asks, what must I do to have eternal life? And after Jesus summarizes the 10 Commandments, He extends to him one last test. The last test was, go sell your possessions and give everything to the poor. I want to say this. I don't know whether you're sitting in your car, whether you're standing on the grass, but I need to say this to you, whether you're watching me sitting up in the bed. You needed to know that poverty was your last test. That God needed to see, how would you serve Him when your hours got cut? He needed to see, what would you do when you had to live out of your savings account? He needed to see what you would respond with when you depleted your 401k. And if you can hear my voice, you ought to be shouting. Why? Because God sent me to tell you, you passed the poverty test. You ought to be giving God glory, because when you didn't have money, you didn't become mean, you didn't commit suicide, you didn't lose your mind, but you said, I will trust God even when I don't have finance. The only reason you ought to be shouting this morning is, in the pandemic, you discovered that favor was better than money. That God has never left me or forsaken me. Don't worry about these folk looking at you crazy. They don't know the days you had to drive with no gas in the car. They don't know how it was when you were scared to open the mail. They don't know how your nerves were wrecked when you didn't know whether the debit card would go through. But you're able to say, through it all, I learned to trust in Jesus. I learned learn to trust in God. The problem is, this young man heard what Jesus said. Sell all you have and give to the poor. And the Bible then exposes his emotion, that he went away sad, and then gave us the reason why. Because he had a lot. And I'm not exactly sure why the young man went away sad. And I'm not sure whether you know why. Perhaps it was because he couldn't honor the vow being rich. And he didn't know how to trust God being poor. You didn't hear what I just said. He didn't know how to honor his vow being rich. And he didn't know how to trust God being poor. What part of it bothered him the most? Was it the selling or was it the giving? See, Jesus is talking to a businessman. And the businessman knew that when I sell it, I'm going to get a profit for it. That it's going to be more for me in value in the sale than in the purchase. I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to entrepreneurs right now. God said, whatever you sell is going to be taken care of. Whatever investment you have for your idea, for your concept, for your business, for your LLC, for your book, he said you ought to take delight, because whatever you selling is going to sell. What was his problem? Was it selling it? But knowing after he sold it with a profit that he would have to give it away. And I want to argue to you this morning that a lot of you have soul ties that are not sexual. A lot of you have soul ties to things that are tangible, that you don't know how to give stuff away. You got a closet full of clothes you can't fit, and you ain't ever gonna be that size again. But you so connected to it that you don't know how to give it away. You've got so much that it's hard for you to decide which thing to move on, because you don't know how to give it away. Hoarders will never be receivers. You just missed what I just said. Hoarders will never be receivers. And God is saying, I understand how it is that the young man was answering. How do I give it away when I paid for it? How do I give it away to somebody who doesn't know my sacrifice? How do I give it away to somebody who does not have my work ethic? And God is telling me to give it away. If it was free, I could understand it. But how did you give it away when I paid for it? And those of you who are shaking your head, those of you who are saying you can identify, those of you who say that is a hard thesis for you to argue today, I want to say that's how God looked at you last night. How did you give your body away when I paid for it? You've been bought with a price. Don't you know your body is a temple, holy and acceptable unto God, but you keep giving it away to people who don't understand covenant? He had a problem, and he walked away. Why? Because he didn't have confidence that he would get it back. What's mine is yours. And what's yours is mine until it isn't. In kindergarten, you learn that caring is sharing. But you forgot that principle by the time you got to 7th grade. You don't ever need to be on a team with somebody who is only with you when you win. You don't need anybody on your team who doesn't know how to stand with you in defeat. I better say this to somebody. Cheerleaders are only needed when the team is losing. If you don't know how to affirm and push and support who you are with, they are not supposed to be on your team. But I need you to do me a favor for whoever you're standing beside today. Would you cheer for them like you believe they're going to win? Come on. Would you cheer for them like the last quarter of the year God is going to give them the desires of their heart? Cheer for them that even though they've been tackled, they still going to have a touchdown. Cheer for them. You got to make sure they'll cheer for you when it looks like you ain't winning. That they'll cheer for you when it looks like your back is up against the wall. That they'll cheer for you even when the odds are stacked up against you. Holly, back in 2013, I went to the Miami Heat's championship game against the San Antonio Spurs. I go to the championship game, and it's looking pretty bleak because the clock is winding down. Clock is winding down, and I need you to understand that the San Antonio Spurs have a 5-point lead. They got a 5-point lead against the Miami Heat. And I said, you know what? This arena is packed to capacity. Let me get out of here before it's a traffic jam in the parking lot. I got my stuff because there's only 5 minutes left in the game, and they down by 5 points. I walk out of that arena. When I start walking out, I don't know, because I'm anointed for leadership, people just start walking out behind me. It's hundreds just walking out behind me. And we're walking out of the arena, and I get maybe a half block away from the arena, and I start hearing the sound of cheers. I couldn't see because there were no screens out there, but I heard a sound, and the sound indicated to me that the game had changed. That there is something about the sound of a worshiper when they are down, that even when you don't know what's happening, even when you can't sense it, you believe something is about to shift. I don't know how you feel about it, but I believe between now and December, everything in your life is about to change. Everything in your economy is about to change. Everything in your bank account is about to change. I heard the sound of everybody cheering. And me and all those that left early ran back to the arena. Y'all ain't saying nothing to me. We ran back to the arena because we had no idea. God help me that LeBron had just hit 3 3-pointers in a row. And security told us something that messed me up that I didn't think about till I started writing this sermon. They said everybody who left cannot come back in. I want to say to 5 of y'all that don't mind shouting, whoever left you when you were broke, whoever left you when you didn't have your money, whoever left you when they didn't think you were going to survive, lock the door. They cannot come back in. I had paid the ticket, but I couldn't come back in. God help me. Because I left when I thought they were losing. I had to stay outside and watch on somebody's phone to see, even though they were down, they came back up and they passed the enemy that was ahead of them. This is a word for 50 people that don't mind shouting. God said, if you give me glory today, all your money is coming back. He said, if you praise me,
Everything that the cankerworm stole is coming back to you. He said, if you lift me up, it's going to be pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Would you look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, look at me. This is the brokest I'm ever going to be in my life. But beginning today, God's going to give it back to me. If you need God to give it to you, give God a shout like you know it's coming back. Every dime that is owed, every dollar that is owed, every check that is owed, God said, because you were faithful, I'm giving it to you. I got to show you this. I got to show this. I need you to lift that hand. The Bible says, whatever you give to the poor, you are loaning to the Lord. He didn't say, give it to your friends, your fraternity brothers, your sorority sisters. Say, give it to people who can't pay you back. And watch and see if I will take care of you. The pandemic has been hellified on your money. But how many of you believe something is getting ready to change? We're not asking God for something tangible, but I need enough to sustain my family and to take care of my children and to take care of my grandchildren. I need you to lift up that hand by faith like you believe it's coming back. I need you to open up your mouth like you are convinced you're going to get everything that you swallowed, everything that went in the wind. God said, watch me restore it back to you. I pray over every lifted hand that you will not have to chase down one dime. Every asset, every piece of property, every contract, everything, hear this, your former job owes you. God, I can't hear nobody in here. Everything that was promised you that did not come to pass, everything that was rightfully yours that you shouldn't have to fight over, God said, I am going to release it to you in the last quarter of this year. And those of you who are standing in need of a financial breakthrough, would you give God your best shout of expectation? Hey, I said, give God. Give God. I can't hear nobody. Give God your best shout of expectation. God, you were with me when I was poor. You was with me when I had nothing. You were with me when the lights were cut off. You were with me when I had to apologize to my own children. You were with me. He could trust you in poor. Can God trust you when he makes you rich? I'm going to challenge every person who has lived through a financially strapped season more than once, wave that hand at me. Every person who knows for yourself, it ain't no slogan, but I know God as Jehovah Jireh. God, I can't hear nobody. Every person that can stand on the testimony, I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed begging for bread. I'm asking God to bless you exponentially. I know that you've already tithed, but my grandmother, my late grandmother, Pauline Lucas Williams, said you'll never go broke helping the poor. You'll never go broke helping the poor. I'm going to challenge every person right now to sow a seed. Here it is. And I want you to sow a seed in accordance to your remembrance of your broke season, of your strap season. Those of y'all from the hood, let me hold something till next Tuesday. Y'all ain't never had one of those? Let me just hold a little piece of something till next Friday. I got you when I get paid. Y'all ain't got no real cousins. I can't hear nobody. I'm going to challenge every person who can Every person who will, I want you to get your best seat as close to 35 as you can. As close to 35 as you can. I want you to do it on push pay, on Zelle, on text to give. I want you to mail it if you have to. But I want you to give a seed. God, I remember having to eat wish sandwiches. Y'all ain't saying nothing. I remember having to do my own hair and burning my neck with the curler. I can't hear nobody. I remember having to paint my own nails and having to put a towel underneath of it. I remember having to make Kool-Aid and whipping the sugar down at the bottom. I remember having to bake peanut butter and jelly and cutting the edges off. Y'all don't remember that. I want you to give at that level. Those of you who are not saved, I need you to know the greatest gift you can give God is not your money. The greatest offering you can give God is yourself. If you're here and you're not saved, over to God. You're here and you're saying, I don't have a church home that will cheer for me when I'm losing. I don't have a church that will stick with me when I got my back up against the wall. I'm telling you, New Birth is your arena. This is where God wants to prosper you. This is where he wants to flourish you. This is where he wants to develop you. And this is where he wants to make you at your highest level. You have walked God poor. I can't wait to see you run with God rich. How many of y'all know I'm talking to you right now? I'm talking to you. I'm believing that God is going to do it. Mike McClure is coming back. Come on, y'all. Mike McClure is coming back. But real quick, before he comes, I'm so glad my sister is here. Michelle Williams, where you are? Come on, real quick. Come here. I know it. Just come. I'm so glad to have Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child with us. Real quick, while they setting up, you got a book out. Tell them the name of the book. I'm trying to help.
Oh, thank you so much, y'all. Pastor Jamal, Bryant, I love you so much. Yes, I do have a new book called Checking In, about how getting real about depression saved my life and how it can save yours too. It's a topic we don't talk about much in church, but one day I'll have to come back and we'll talk about it. Thank you so much. Checkinginbook.com.
Mike McClure. It's going to be medium. Come on. Y'all make some noise for Mike McClure.
Hold on right quick. Hold on. I don't know what you're going through, and I don't know how difficult life is, but I'm crazy enough to believe that God is still amazing. Somebody declare he's amazing. Come on, give me some more right here. Somebody shout he's amazing. Can we try something and y'all tell me how you like it? Come on, let's go. Yeah. I'm a living witness that God is still a good God. You ought to just lift your hands. Cut the track up. Can I testify the goodness of God? I remember when he saved my life. Everything before that was just a blur. I was wild, living real foul. I just wasn't right. Can I testify? I remember when he changed my name. From sick to heal, from broke to blessed. Now I can testify that I'll never be the same. Oh Lord, God is amazing, simply amazing. He is amazing. Who believes that? That's why I believe. The truth is, yeah, I thank God he saved me. Anybody still alive? Say, that's why I believe. God is. Somebody survived. You're alive. Do it again. Say I'm alive. I survived. I'm alive. What didn't kill me, it only made me stronger. Yeah. Yeah. What didn't kill me? Let's go. Through every win and loss. And even when I'm feeling all the pressure, Lord, you are the one that I can lean on. And if you knew my past, you was well finished last, but I still understand how my God is so. Grandmama said the devil don't understand when you moan. You ought to say. I need your help right here. Throw your hand back and say, my God is amazing. Who gonna help me sing that right there? God is. My God is amazing. I see you in the back with your hands lifted. If he kept you in your right mind, you should say, I should be crazy. And even when I'm feeling all the pressure, God, you are the one that I can lean on. God, you are the one that I can lean on. God is. I need somebody at New Birth, somebody online to just have church with me and say, God is. God is. God is. I should be crazy. And even when I'm feeling all the pressure, God, you are the one that I can lean on. God, you are the one that I can lean on. God, you are the one that I can lean on. God, you are the one that I can lean on. Yeah. God, you are the one that I can lean on. Yeah. God, you are the one that I can lean on. Yeah. God, you are the one. Somebody sing that. Say, God, you are the one that I can lean on. Say, God, you are the one that I can lean on. God, you are the one that I can lean on. God is. God is amazing. God is. And even when I'm feeling all the pressure, God, you are the one that I can lean on. God, you are the one that I can lean on. I remember when he picked me up. See, you can't shout about that if you ain't never been down. See, Negroes get amnesia when they get blessed. But if you ever had a valley season, you ought to just thank God. I remember when he picked me up. Come here, dear.
I remember I was by myself. People walked down my life. Oh, it was such a shame. But I'm so much better now. Yeah. I remember when I was all alone. I looked all around, couldn't find nobody. Then he stepped right in and told me he loved me. God is amazing, simply amazing. He is amazing.
Say, God is.
My God is amazing.
God is. That's why I believe. Problems won't stop me. Can I just testify? And pressure, it won't block me. The weight of depression, it won't break me down. See, you don't know how powerful anxiety is. I'm gonna say it again. The weight of depression, it won't break me down. Anybody ever had to cry yourself to sleep? Say, the weight of depression, it won't break me down. We're gonna catch a rhythm. Say it again. The weight of depression, say, the weight of depression won't break me down. The weight of my problems, you ought to say, the weight of my problems. The weight of my problems won't break me down. 'Cause God's in control, and He can do the impossible. Shh. So all of my good and bad, it's making me better. All of my good and bad, it's making me better. All of my ups and downs, all of my ups and downs, it's making me better. All of my wins and losses, all of my wins and losses, it's making me better. Just in case it's a hater watching, all of the real and the fake. All of the takes it all, 'cause He takes it all. My joy and my pain, works it together. So I won't wait till the battle is over. I'm gonna shout right now. I won't wait till the battle is over. I'm gonna shout right now. You help me say, I won't wait. I won't wait till the battle is over. I'm gonna shout right now. I won't wait. I won't wait till the battle is over. I'm gonna shout. I'm gonna shout. Y'all help me say, I won't wait till it's over. I won't wait till the battle is over. I'm gonna shout right now. I won't wait till it's over. Working for me. The wins and the losses. Working for me. My pain and my pressure. Working for me. It's 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 working for me. Say, it's working for me. It's working for me. It's working for me. It's working for me. So all of my good and bad, it's making me better. All of my ups and downs, all of my ups and downs, it's making me better. Takes it all, 'cause He takes it all. My joy and my pain, and He works it together. So we won't wait till the battle is over. We're gonna shout right now. wait till you pay the bill. I'm gonna shout right now. I won't wait till the doctor says it's gone. I'm gonna shout right now. But I'm not myself. I won't wait till I feel better. No, I'm gonna shout right now. It's working for me. 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 It's making me stronger. It's making me strong. Making me wiser. It's making me wiser. Making me better. It's making me better, better. It's working. It's working for me. Working. It's working for me. Making me strong. It's making me strong. It's making me wiser. It's making me wiser. It's making me better. It's making me better, better. Working. It's working for me. Working. It's working for me. It's working for me. I'm coming out stronger. It's working for me. I'm coming out wiser. It's working for me. Double for my trouble. It's working for me. It's working. It's working for me. It's working for me. It's working. It's working for me. It's working for me.
Happy holidays, New Birth. It's time for today's video announcements. New Birth and the Atlanta metro area, we are having an amazing New Year's Eve celebration planned just for you. On Friday, December 31st, we will be returning into our sanctuary. We'll begin with a midday worship experience at 12 noon, with the doors opening at 10:30 a.m. Then join us at 10:30 p.m. for The Return, a New Year's Eve celebration featuring Grammy award-winning duo Mary Mary. Doors open at 9 p.m. Dr. Bryant will deliver a powerful message to propel us into 2022. You don't want to miss it. Services are open to the public and masks are required. Bring your family, tell a friend, and come experience the unusual. Jesus is the reason for the season. New Birth, join us in our efforts to bless 1,000 children for Christmas. Visit wearenewbirth.org to register as a volunteer or to make a financial contribution. Ladies of New Birth, we are the heart of this church. Pastor Carey is inviting you to attend our first Cardio Pulse meeting on Thursday, December 16th at 7 p.m. via Zoom. We have some pulse racing news to share about the heartbeat of our pastor, our church, and the women's ministry. Visit wearenewbirth.org for more details. Our King's Table will be closed December 19th through January 31st. For local resources, please contact the Atlanta Community Food Bank at 404-892-3333 or visit acfb.org. Save the date for our New Year's revival on Tuesday, January 11th through Thursday, January 13th at 7:30 p.m. nightly. Get ready for 3 amazing nights of prophetic ministry featuring Dr. Dion Baez. Stay tuned for more details. Have you joined us this month for our Luke in 24 challenge? Dr. Bryant has commissioned us to read 1 chapter of the Gospel of Luke daily, concluding on December 24th. Wake up on Christmas morning with a greater appreciation and understanding of who Christ is and why we celebrate. Be sure to share this on your social media using #LukeChallenge. And that's gonna wrap up today's video